Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Real and Raw with Ree. Happy Hump Day. This is episode 4. So today's episode is going to hit very different. This episode is very, very, very personal to me. Today we will be discussing grief. Let me start by saying that I hope all of you had a safe and wonderful weekend, 4th of July weekend. I hope you had a great time with your family, cooked on the grill, ate real good, went out of town. So yeah, I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'm pretty sure most of us are back to work, like myself. So again, thank you all for tuning in to this episode. So as some of you may know, some of you may not, I lost my mom October last year. So it's only been a few months. It was really, 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 really hard for me. Like, honestly, I can say, like, my life has not been the same since losing my mom. My mom was my best friend, I can say. Like, you know, I don't think we really bumped heads like that. We really didn't. My mom was my mom. We didn't bump heads like that or anything. Loved that woman to death. I mean, if you needed anything, she was there. She was very loving, and I wanted to be a strong, loving woman like my mom. So, losing my mom had all the answers. Like, she could cook her ass off, for one. So, yeah. When I tell people that I'm not my mom in the kitchen, if you would have tasted her food, you would have known what I meant when I say I'm not my mom in the kitchen. Because my mama could throw down. Anything she made was good. Anything. Like, yeah, she was like that in the kitchen. Yeah, she helped me with everything. This whole adulting thing has been hell since her passing. Like, health insurance and honey, child, taxes. But yeah, so my mom was absolutely everything to me. Everything to me. So yes, my life has not been the same without her. Like, it really has not. So it has been a very, very, very rough couple of months. Losing her days before her birthday. So her birthday comes around, I have to celebrate her birthday. Then Mother's Day comes around. Holidays are just not the same without her. Christmas came around, New Year's. It was just a lot. So yeah, child. And then going back to work after her passing was just like, I don't want people asking me how I'm doing. That was the question that really, really, really irked my nerves. Like, the day that my mom passed away, and I went to my parents' house, and I'm walking up the driveway, and my brother asked me how was I doing. I'm in tears and told him not to ask me that, because it really pissed me off. And I was already hurt, like really, really, really hurt. And I don't know, like, when people kept asking me that question, it just did something to me. It, like, sent me to 10. I did not like that question. And today I'm better when people ask that question, because they're not asking it. It's like a everyday, how you doing, But for the people who are like, how are you doing? Like, since your mom passed, how are you doing? I can say how I'm doing now. And it's crazy because, I don't know, I'm emotional now, which is expected. But some days I feel guilty if I am happy. I feel guilty because Oh, Lord. I feel guilty because it's like, am I supposed to be happy? You know, like my mom is no longer here and I'm having a great day. Like, I feel guilty and it's crazy because I've never told anybody this. So, you guys are the first people I'm telling. So, yeah, it's like I feel guilty because it's like my mom is no longer here and I'm having a great day. Like, I'm laughing, having a good time, but I know my mom would want me to be happy. And, yeah, she would really want me to be happy. She wouldn't want me sitting around crying because she's not here. So, honestly, I think those good days are just me not thinking about it. Like, nothing has triggered me to think about it. Like, of course, this episode me talking about it, I might cry when I get off of here. I'm already crying now. But, yeah, so, I don't know. I just feel guilty sometimes. And I know I shouldn't. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, you shouldn't feel guilty, And just, you're going on the best you can, which is very true. I have been doing great with going on. Mother's Day was hard for me. Having to go visit her grave and, put a smile on your face. I really didn't want to leave the house that day. I really didn't. And I joined this grief group on Facebook because I said I have to find people who are going through what I'm going through. Yes, I have siblings and all that, but I have to find people who are going through what I'm going through, who get it, and, reading their post up there about their parents, like losing their parents. I cried, like, because it's just like, of course, there's people out here going through what you're going through, but losing a parent, hits very, very, very different than any situation to me anyway. So I had put in the group that I just did not want to leave the house. I wanted to lock myself in my room and just go to sleep for the day. Like, I didn't want to go and have to put on a smile for anybody or anything like that. Like, I didn't want to go do that because it's like, that's not how I really feel. Like, I'm hurting, like my mom isn't here, so I don't want to have to go do that. And a lot of people were like, I feel the same way, so it was just like, I'm happy to know that people can relate to what I'm going through. I don't wish this on anybody at all. So I do say, if you still have your parents, of course, cherish them. Love on them, give them hugs, give them kisses, go spend that time with them. I still have my dad. I am grateful for him. I love him to death. I would do anything for my dad. I don't even know how I would feel if something happened to my dad. Like, with me still going through the motions, which I honestly feel like, as far as my mom goes, I don't like to say this, but the reality is I feel like I will never 100% be okay, like, with my mom passing away, because, that's my mom. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, this episode hits very, very, very different for me because I'm going through it. So, yeah. And then having to celebrate my birthday without my mom, that was a lot for me. And then my 30th birthday is coming up in November. That's very big for me. And like I was telling my sister, not yesterday, it was a few days ago, I think, my mom has always said that she wanted to go before her kids. And I don't think that my mom could have handled one of us passing away like my older brother did, but the ones who she saw day in and day out, I don't think she could have dealt with it. I really don't. And I'm happy that she got what she wanted as far as, her passing away before her kids did. And, when I think about that, it makes me feel good. But, not being able to talk to a parent, see a parent, it's just, it hurts. It really does. And I lost a few friends behind my mom's passing. I really did. And I have always been the person where if we fall out and I feel like I didn't do anything wrong, or, because I go to people and I get opinions. I do. I go to people and I'm like, let me know if I was wrong with this situation. And I asked somebody recently about this situation, and they agreed with me like I wasn't wrong. I just feel like if you are a friend of mine, or you consider me your friend or whatever, and you were close with my mom, I feel like you should have been there for me. You didn't have to come to her funeral if you were busy. You didn't have to come to her balloon release if you were busy. You didn't have to. I just needed you to be there for me. I needed more than a, how are you doing today? Or I'm sorry for your loss. I needed more than that. Because one time is not it for me. And I hate to say this. I really do. I really, really, really hate to say this. And I told my sister this the other day. I hate to say this. But God forbid something like this happens to them. I cannot be there for them. I cannot. And I always say that the Lord knows my heart because I have the biggest heart. I really do. I will give you my last. If I really, really, really rock with you, I will. I want to see you win. I want to see you do good. I don't want to see you out here struggling and I can help you. I'm not going to do that. But if the energy is not reciprocated, I'm good on you. Like, I'm good. And like I said, I hate to say that, like, I got to give you the energy that you gave me. I wish you, I'll pray for you. Sorry for your loss, but I can't go any further than that, although I will want to, because that's who I am. I can't do it. I can't. Because I remember when I went through that, you weren't here for me. I mean, we fell out, like, I get that everybody's going through everyday life. Shit happens, I get it. But what you are going through, which I hate to make it seem like your situation is not shit, because that's not where I'm trying to go. But if you're looking for a job and, you trying to see how you're going to pay your bills, baby, I've been there. The beginning of at the beginning of last year, at the end of like 2022 and mid of last year, honey, that was the worst year for me. Worst, like, I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. I was going through and nobody knew. I mean, I didn't reach out to friends like, can I get this? Can I get that? Can I get that? I went to my parents. I went to my parents, got me a job, paid them back. So, yeah, I have been there. But that situation is nothing compared to somebody losing a parent and going through that. But like I told my sister, and we agreed on, you have to go through that to understand where somebody was coming from when they were in it. You have to lose a parent, and I hate to say it, or lose somebody really close to you that was like a parent to you, for you to understand how it feels and how that person felt and why they felt the way that they felt. Which I hate to say that, I really do, because like I said, I don't want that on anybody. That is a pain that I don't want on my worst enemy that I don't have. But I don't want that on anybody because that shit hurts. It is no coming back from that. Like, honey, I think that first night I could not sleep at all. Like, I was crying myself to sleep. I could not sleep for shit. Like, I was crying, and it's like I felt someone, which I'm gonna say my mom, get in bed with me and hold me. Like, it really felt like someone was holding me. And that's the only way that I was able to go to sleep that night. That is the only way. Like, it was so hard for me to go to sleep. Like, I couldn't believe that my mom was gone. Like, so yes, that is a pain that I would not wish on anybody. Like, if you lost a parent, you get it, you understand. You are where I'm at. And then, you know, people are like, you know, hold on to the good memories. Of course, I get it. I do. And part of me has been saying, like, even before my mom passed away, I was like, when something happens to my mom, like, I'm gonna have to go to therapy. And I have not went to therapy, but I really feel like I need to. Like, when we start discussing my mom, I might not make it through the session. That first session might be me in tears, because I really feel like that's what it's gonna be. I feel like if somebody comes to me and gives me a big ass hug, like, how are you? Ask me how I'm doing. Like, really, really, really ask me how I'm doing, and really want my answer. Like, let's just say they say, how are you doing? Like, with everything that you've been through, how are you doing? And I'm like, I'm good. And they're like, no, how are you doing? You don't have to give me that, oh, I'm fine. How are you really doing? Now, if you're fine, you're fine. But how are you really doing? And, you know, they let me know that I'm safe with them. Like, I can talk to them. Tears, honey, tears, tears, tears. I feel like I will be in tears. Seriously. So, you know, for the longest, I have felt like, you know, I needed a big ass hug, you know, because, like I said, this episode is hitting home for me. So I am in tears right now. But yeah, so if somebody gave me a big ass hug and asked me how was I doing, a child, their shirt would be wet, or, you know, hella napkins or something, because I would be in tears from, like, just expressing myself and allowing myself to go through that and let it out. Like, I mean, I cry, you know, when I need to. I cry all the time, every day in the shower. I don't know how long, but I cry in the shower a lot. Like, that was my spot in the shower. And, you know, it's, you know, you can cry in your bed, but to me, I don't know, the shower with the water running on you, it hits different. It's like, I don't know. It just hits very different for me. And that's where I have my conversations with God, you know, in the shower. And like I said, I cry, you know. So if I had that person that was just like, be real with me, like, how are you doing? Baby, I'm crying. I feel it, like, yes, I feel it. So when I got that phone call that my mom passed away, I was at work, and it's crazy because the night before, everybody went to see her. Like, all of my siblings, my nieces were there, my nephews, my uncle was there, my dad's brother was there, you know, fixing up my mom's yard for her. We were all there. We got to see her. I got to feed her Jello. Was it Jello? I think it was not Jello. It was not Jello. I think it was pudding, chocolate pudding. That's what it was. I like Jello, but it was chocolate pudding. I got to feed it to her. She was talking. She seemed like her normal self. And from watching Grey's Anatomy, I forgot what it's called, but it's about that time. If you seen Grey's Anatomy and when Mark passed away, he had he was himself for that one day. Big burst of energy, and he asked Richard, was this it? And Richard, I can't remember if Richard answered, but Mark was a doctor, so he knew. But I thought about that night, being there with my mom, but then I was like, okay, well, maybe that's not it. Maybe she's getting better coming around, So I was just happy that I got to tell her that I loved her, gave her a hug, kiss her. She got to see her grandbabies, all her kids, in one room. See her yard getting done and all of that. So I love that. Like, just being there the night before with my mom, it meant everything to me. And it's like, I'm just happy that she got to love on us pretty much. And we got to love on her the day before she passed away. So I always think about that and tell my sister, like, I'm so happy that we all were over there. Because I don't know how I would have handled it if I didn't see her before her passing. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit and discuss family feuding and, grieving and everybody doing their part. And, of course, you can tell from my voice, it's a brand new day. I had to take a break because that first little part of the podcast, I was struggling. It honestly took me days after recording that to listen, and I did not listen all the way through, so I don't really know how the episode sounds, if I am being completely honest. Listening to myself talk about my mom's passing would make me cry again, so I'm like, no, I can't listen. I'm just being real and, honest with you guys, so bear with me with this episode is all that I can say. So yes, as far as everyone doing their part, when it comes to, funeral arrangements and all of that, I feel like it should never be a competition between siblings, because that's what it really boils down to. It's never the spouse. I feel like, it's never that. Or I could be wrong. I really could. But, it could be the spouse and the kids if they did not have that relationship, like a stepdad or, something like that. But right now I'm speaking as far as, siblings go. Excuse me. I feel like it should never be a competition. Someone lost a mom. Someone lost their wife, their husband. Someone probably lost a father, uncle, grandfather, grandmother. So I feel like everybody is going through the motions, and trying to get through that as best they can. The last thing that anybody needs is to be arguing over who's doing the most with this or who's doing that. And that is the last thing that people want to argue about. And I'm not the arguing type. Like, that is not me at all when it comes to anything. I'm not the arguing type. I'm not going to sit there and argue with you. What I will do is let you say what you have to say. I'm going to say what I have to say, and I'm done with it. Anything after that you have to say, are you finished? I'm just going to wait until you're finished. Are you done? Because I just don't see the point in arguing. Like, the breath that I'm wasting on you, I might need that when it's time for me to leave the world. I might need that little bit of breath. so I'm not about to waste it. But yeah, when somebody passes away, that is the last thing that people want to do is argue. And it's mixed emotions, and everybody is full of anger and sadness. So you don't want to make a decision that you will regret. Like, I just feel like work together when it comes to funeral arrangements and everything. Like, just work together. I know it's easier said than done, but it's like you have to take your personal feelings and emotions out of that and realize that all of you are there to make sure that your parent is, I'm going to just say your parent is being buried properly, properly. So yes, you have to take your feelings out of that. You really do. Like, it's no time for personal feelings. And as far as, child, I hate to even discuss this. I really do, because I think it's very stupid. It is. As far as beneficiary goes, why are we arguing over that? Why? Because I feel like if, let's just say, my mom left the money to me, I honestly feel like if she didn't write anything down that says I have to give you this and give you that, baby, you get whatever I give you. And I stand on that. I really do. And, people feel differently, which you can, that you have a right to. But it should never get to the point where we stop talking over it. Or, we about to square up for it. Like, for what? Because if it gets to that point, I'm not even going to say that. I'm not. It's just like, I'm going to say it. Do you care about your mom's passing, really? Or do you care about the money, really? And I hate to say that. I really do. I really, really do. I do. It's just like, why fight over money? And it's just crazy. It's ridiculous to me. Excuse me. Like, what is going on? Excuse me. So yes, it's just like, this situation is bigger than the money right now. It's bigger than that. And it's like, if your parent was rich, you still shouldn't be arguing over it. I mean, they leaving you some thousands or some millions or something. I don't know about millions, but they leaving you something. And if your parent wasn't rich, what are we fussing about this for? Why? I'm pretty sure a lot of you can relate with, family feuding during, tragic times or whatever. But it's just ridiculous. And I don't hear people talk about it enough. I really don't. That is what needs to be talked about, because it's like, why are y'all arguing over that? This person is turning over in their grave. It's just ridiculous. And it's like, for one, you should never go into that situation like, oh, I should get blank amount of money. Say it too. If I don't see it on paper, that's not what you're getting. And you shouldn't have your hand out to feel like you are owed that money, because you're not. I could only give you $1 and be just fine doing that. I wouldn't do that, but I'm just saying, you should be grateful that you have that dollar. You're $1 richer. That's how I look at it. And I mean, people will feel how they feel, but that's just how I feel. Unless I see it in paper saying, give this amount, give that amount, you get what I give you. And that's that. Because you can put more than one beneficiary down. But you guys should not be falling out over money when it comes to that. Like, why is that at the top of the list to argue about? Why? And if you fall out over that, it's like, so money is all you care about right now. Somebody very important to you guys just passed away. You all are grieving in your own way. You all were fine or somewhat fine before the person's passing, and now you guys are just not talking at all because of money? Like, replay that in your mind, and it will sound very stupid and petty, because if this person passed away today, do you really want to look back and be like, damn, like, I wasn't talking to them over money and now they're gone? And that shit is going to haunt you. Like, at least it will haunt me that we're not talking over money. If I'm mad at somebody because they didn't give me the amount of money that I felt like I was owed, although it wasn't written down, and I'm mad at them and I'm not talking to them and won't show up when they need me, I don't want nothing to do with them over money, and now they pass away, I would be like, damn, like, what was I thinking? At least me, the type of heart that I have. But yeah, and I feel like you have to let people grieve the way that they want to grieve. Like, me, I talked to people when it came to that, but I cry a lot, like, by myself. Like, I am still going through that. And, some people who feel like they don't want to go to the person's funeral, I was guilty of having my own opinions when it came to that. But, again, you have to let people grieve how they grieve. Like, some people can't take that. Some people can't take that. Some people can't go to the grave, and be okay. Like, some people pass out, want to jump in the fucking casket with them, or in the grave with them. But I'm not going to that extreme. But yeah, some people can't handle that. And like I said, on Mother's Day, I didn't want to deal with anybody. I did not. But I knew that everyone was going to my mom's gravesite, and I felt like I needed to go. Would, make me feel like I was closer to her. But I'm happy that everybody did go, except my dad. But I'm happy that everybody did go. Like I said, people deal with things how they deal with them. Some people can't go. Some people don't want to, see their person like that. So I get it. I completely do. I can't judge you when it comes to that. Who am I to judge you anyway? So I completely get it. I just feel like during hard times, you really have to stick together. You really do. Because life is very, very, very short. We are all on limited time, if you ask me. That's how I feel. I want to love on love on people as much as I can. I want to be happy. I want to leave this earth knowing that I did amazing things. I helped people when I could help them. I received help when I needed it. I just want to leave a positive mark. I don't want anybody to be able to say, Risha was like this, like that in a negative way. Although, some people will be negative. But, people know you. You know yourself. So, yeah, if you feel like you need to go get therapy, go get it. Like I said, I have not went. So, yeah. Some days I feel like I do need to find one. I had been looking into some, but I really want to, since, you have to pay, I really want to find one that, of course, is not around my age. Excuse me. Not saying that anything is wrong with that, but I want to find somebody a little older, and that will genuinely care about helping me, I should say. And not just for my mom's passing, like for life in general. Like, I have a lot of things that I do not talk about, have not talked about, some things that I just have not gotten through, but I do the best I can each and every day to get through it. Some things that I know I need to let go of. Excuse me. But I really don't know how, like, so I just go on each and every day. It's not, bothering me every day, but sometimes I have thoughts, situations might come up and I start thinking about it. So, yeah, so it's all about finding the right therapist. You don't want to just jump into it because you feel like you need to go or people are pressing you to go. Don't press anybody to go to therapy. Do not press people to go to therapy. Let people go to therapy on their own time. You can suggest it, but don't press it. Like, yeah, don't do that. And I'm happy that nobody, pressed it when it came to me. Yeah, so I just feel like people deal with things how they want to. And you just got to be there to support them as best you can. Do not let money get in between a relationship. Do not, because you will regret it. You will. Definitely regret it. It should never be that serious or that deep. If it's not, even if it was going to make you rich, don't let it, no. Because honestly, and this is just how I feel, if you work, what's the issue when it comes to the money if you work anyway? If you know you have a check coming in every week, every 2 weeks, you would not be pressed about it. If you have a business, you would not be pressed about it. You shouldn't be pressed about that anyway. Like, somebody passing away that is very close to you is bigger than that check. Because if we're being real, the check came from them passing. So why are we arguing over it? Why? I just don't get it. I would never get it. It should never be that serious, in my opinion. But, these are just my opinions. This is Real and Raw with Ree. So, I mean, you deal with it how you deal with it, but it should never be that serious. So if I'm talking to somebody right now that fell out with someone over money, please go talk to that person. Please do. And I feel like, let me switch gears a little bit. Now, if you fell out with people because they were not reaching out to you the way that you feel like they should have, me being me, I'm going to stand on how I feel. Especially if I ask people, because I tend to ask people, like, was I wrong in this situation? Like, I give the person's side or, from what they said, but, they have their own side. I give my responses or how the situation went down, and I let the person decide who was right, who was wrong, who should do this, who should do that, and then, I make my final decision. But if I feel like I wasn't wrong in any way, I'm standing on that. And I have always done that. And my mom used to tell me to reach out to my old friends, but I was like, no, because I always felt like I was the one that had to run after them and fix friendships and stuff. And I don't know. I'm good. I'm going to stay where I'm at. I stand on what I stand on. Any situation, excuse me, and I hate to try to downplay someone's situation because I would never do that. I don't know what people are going through unless you tell me, but we're all going through something. Somebody losing a parent or someone who is like a parent to them is bigger than any fucking situation that you have going on. I don't care if you are about to lose your home in a week. I lost a fucking parent. And to me, you losing your home in a week, it's not the same as me losing a parent. I that's how I feel. I will not apologize for it. I was about to, but that's just how I feel. And I'm pretty sure some people would disagree with me, and that's completely fine. You feel how you feel. Maybe you still have your parents, so that's why you will disagree. But when you do lose a parent or somebody that was like a parent to you, you will understand why I stand on this, and I will forever stand on it, and that's just what it is. And I feel like I will not reach out to anybody who I feel like was not there for me. And if you sent like a text or two and you felt like that was enough, cool. When you lose a person that's like a parent to you, I will send a text or two, and then you shouldn't feel away, because I'm matching energy the same way that you did. And I stand on that. That's just what it is when it comes to me. So we are going to wrap this episode right on up. Thank you all for listening to another episode of Real and Raw with Ree. Feel free to share this episode with someone who is going through the motions, that is trying to figure it all out. It could help them. If you are going through it, feel free to reach out to me. My socials are below. My email is below as well. So feel free to reach out. I love you guys. And I thank you for all of your support. I really, really do. I really do appreciate it. I don't know if you guys can tell, but every time I am about to record, I get super, super, super nervous. I don't know why. It's especially on the intro part. It's always the intro. I'm really nervous. I don't know why, but I've been doing the damn thing, okay? I really have. And I appreciate all of y'all comments to me, telling me how good I'm doing. I really do appreciate it. It keeps me going. It really does. Because this is something that I've always wanted to do. Again, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I hope that you all are having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful hump day. And see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.